So I introduce people as mainly consultant psychiatrist. I'm a rehabilitation psychiatrist, so say more about that after some time. But around 2006, I realized as a junior doctor that this is just not psychiatry. I don't just get, I don't get that sort of essence of who I truly am just by training to be a psychiatrist. I wanted to explore more about myself and go into personal development. But back in 2001, I was doing all sorts of training, going for courses, and have done Anthony Robbins and done firewalking, those sort of things. And I said, hey, why don't I learn to be a coach myself? Why don't I show people? So, and psychiatry, my normal psychiatry career or funding won't pay for any of this. So I decided, since 2001, I was doing lots of bits and pieces about how can I be a better person. And then come 2006, I seriously pursued things like, I'm going to have that label behind my name. So it won't just say Dr. Rani Bora, MBBS, and MRC Psych. It would also say life coach, NLP, all the stuff. So I started doing it. And there's a phrase that health professionals, and maybe everyone uses, I want more tools in my toolbox. I was one of those. So I would go around, oh, this course. So what can I learn something here? Bang! Okay, toolbox. Okay, oh, what can I go and learn? And I was very, very, very pleased with myself. I was very proud that I was not only a doctor, a psychiatrist that was thinking outside the box, but guess what? I had more tools than most other people. So I was like, well done, Rani. And that was my journey. And mind you, I really learned some good tools and techniques. I learned NLP. I learned EFT, narrative coaching, and I have done CBT and other stuff that you do as a junior doctor. I trained in CBT, psychodynamic training, family work, and all solution-focused therapy. So I had lots of tools in my toolkit. So 2.5 years ago, when I came across this completely by accident, of course I was not going to go there. And I'm not going to say the whole story now, but there was a lot of resistance to even going to this thing called the 3 principles, not for me. And as I started to explore initially what was happening, and I was hearing people talk about the 3 principles. I was hearing, yeah. Oh yes, it fits that. Oh yes, fits that. And that was what I was hearing. And you can see that was a lot going on in my analytical mind. Oh yeah, this, yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, so what, sort of thing. And then I realized that there is this hearing and there is this listening, and I was not listening. Maybe I called it listening, but I had lots of filters through which I was listening to the so-called 3 principles. And there was a lot of fear, there was lots of resistance. After all, all this money I've invested in so many different things for me, and the NHS didn't pay for anything, I paid for it myself, and I had this thing about my own business and how I was going to go about in life. And I was scared, and so I wouldn't go there. But 2.5 years later, here I am telling you about how I share the 3 principles with my patients. And the thing is, I think initially I tried to tell them about the 3 principles and just explain to them. That had a very different feel to how I share it now. And that's a journey. I'm not saying that there was a different journey to take. That's where I was. I just thought it was a good idea because I wanted to help my people with the best of intentions. So I haven't rehearsed this. And it's very different for me to go somewhere where there's going to be audience and I get a good 40 minutes or so to talk about something and not even come prepared. But I hope you'll get a sense of where I'm coming from. And I trust that whatever I need to say will come out of my mouth. I don't have to prepare it. I have a rough idea. But I don't have to make it perfect. And maybe whatever is perfect is coming out right now without me even trying any other way. So I have been I would like to say how I share with people. And it's getting easier and easier. And why it's getting easier is because I have a sense of it, rather than me coming up with some clever lines to tell people. And I've been sharing this at work for a year now. And we have weekly sessions on the three principles. And how it came about is, basically I had done some video watching. I had done lots of books and everything, and I had this car journey with Elysians too. But then something else was sparking up, and of course I had a one-to-one session with the lovely Anne Ross, who is a speaker, and I had my biggest insight then. And so from then it just felt right to be sharing what I needed to share. But most importantly, I was noticing that I was slowing down in my own life. I freaked out about slowing down because I'm a well-being coach, and I'm a psychiatrist, and I have all these things I want to do and share with the world. I want to make a difference in the world, so I can't slowly slow down. So I was like doing this and doing this, and I was feeling proud of myself for being a bit stressed in life, because I thought, hey, you need to be stressed, right? That means that I'm working. And I noticed that I was slowing down. And my house might be in a mess. My kids might not be, still might be in the pajamas at 11 o'clock on a weekend. And rather than freaking out, I was just okay. Not all the time, most of the time. And so it just felt right. It just like when I was having one-to-one with my patients, I realized that I didn't have to pull out anything from my toolkit anymore. I didn't have to do what we're supposed to do every time I meet people, like assessment, psychiatric assessment, presenting problem, past psychiatric history, past medical history, Yes, there is a structure that I still need to abide by when I'm doing some assessments, but that's not where I really get connected to my patients. When I dare to throw everything out the window, even for like 10 minutes, that's when I realize that something comes out of the ordinary. And we talk about repo in NLP and in EFT and all in all therapies. And I used to think that there's a certain way of building repo with patients, and there's the tool. Not anymore. I realize that having repo is so natural for all of us. And it's just when you are being present, you just trust that you are going to say what feels right, and without you thinking, what am I going to say next? And it's that moment, it's just magic happens. People feel that there's a space for them to just be. And I don't even know what I'm saying, and sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing with my patients. I'm just there with them. But it's interestingly, I'm more and more seeing that people are coming out with their common sense. People are saying things that they might not even realize they're saying. And mind you, when I'm talking about mental health here, I'm not just talking about someone with a bit of anxiety and depression. I mean, I'm a rehab psychiatrist, so I work with people at the severe end of the spectrum. And so people with a long history of schizophrenia or a long history of depression, bipolar, whatever it is, they are my patients. And trust me, we have used therapy, we have used techniques, and they all seem to work from time to time. But it's not like you see any transformation. You don't say that people with mental illness can be cured. And it's almost like, oh, you have to live with this for the rest of your life. And I'm really, really questioning it now. I truly am. And I'm not saying that I'm going to fix you. I'm going to make you better because I know the true principles. So I'm going to share with you, and you are going to learn, and then boom, everyone who comes to Dr. Bora is going to be enlightened. I'm not saying that at all. But I feel very, very comfortable what I know, and if I just be me and just share, if the time seems right, and not even use the jargon of the three principles, people might see things differently. So I'm sharing it one-to-one. I'm sharing it with the groups. People, I have around, it's a 16-bedded unit, it's a long stay unit. Not everyone comes to my group, but there are people who come to my group day in and day out, week by week. And they don't know what they're getting out of that. But they do say they feel good.